Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so just trying to get myself some rice today. Of course, it's the 6th, so my EBT re-ups on the 7th. So it's one of those situations where I'm gonna have to be very particular about what I pick up. It's only like 23 bucks in there, but I think I have enough to get rice and maybe some carrots and some maybe some broccoli and stuff like that to complete my meal tonight. So yeah, man, but I'm a little frustrated because I looked on my benefits account and they don't even have me listed as somebody to receive GR. They're supposed to re-up my GR automatically because, of course, my case is that for which is continuing to wait on Social Security's response to my case file claim, asking for them to give me some disability benefits for the last 2 years. As you guys will recall, I went out to Crenshaw for a psychological eval, so obviously for that specific thing, I never got any word back on what their answer would be in regards to my case, but it's still open since I was literally just doing testing for it less than 2 months ago, or maybe a little more than 2 months ago. So, you know, it's supposed to be a situation where my GR is supposed to cover me until they start my benefits or until they deny my benefits, if whatever the decision would be. And they cut me off starting tomorrow in regards to that. So it's like, I don't know why I have to jump through so many hoops every year to try to keep my benefits going, but it's always like I have to remind them of my specific circumstances. Always have to remind them that, hey, yo, my case is a little different, but it's been approved for 2 years straight while we wait on this process. And I've sent in the information that was requested in regards to it via mail. I sent that stuff in on a rainy day, ended up getting sick that day trying to mail that crap off. And they said that I didn't send it in, or that they didn't receive it. And then, you know, furthermore, that I had done everything I needed to do to make sure I had my food benefits, but no word on what was needed for my general relief benefits. So I'm just exhausted, but in regards to that, but I gave them a call just now and the wait time was an hour. So I say, hey man, it's probably best I call a different time because I'm not about to sit up here and waste my entire phone battery listening to the same repetitive song for an hour right now. I know I have to call them in the morning. Problem is, it's Friday, so it's probably best that I try to get this done today. And I learned to call them around 3 o'clock last time, worked right before the end of the day or at the beginning of the day. But in the meat and potatoes of the day, especially at the beginning of a new cycle, it's like this. So I don't know, man. I'm just trying to do what I need to do on my end to assure I have what I need. This is absolutely the worst time for them to be doing this because I'm already low on money with the changes of everything. I've been telling you guys I've been struggling with that. So, you know, it's just, I could really use those benefits greatly. And, you know, it's just the state of California being as difficult as it always is with people like myself. So, yeah, man, just kind of just frustrated about it. But this isn't, unfortunately, anything new. I go through this every year, at the beginning of the year, every year. It's always something extra with these people. They cut off your card. They lose your paperwork. I had them lose my paperwork in regards to something that's supposed to certify that this process is acceptable on their end. They didn't file the paperwork for an entire year. So what I'm thinking is that paperwork expired. But since it hadn't been filed, it was supposed to be extended for the period of time for which it was filed, not necessarily when I sent it in. So it's very complicated, but at the end of the day, they screwed up my paperwork several times over. They screwed up my card situation more than once. They cut off my benefits with no explanation whatsoever. I've just had a lot of trouble. You guys seen it all. It's all documented on this channel. You guys watch me go through all of it. So at this point, I'm just trying to mind my way through their mistakes and through the frustration of it all. It's just par for the course, man. But you know, I'm just trying to make it. I'm tired, to be honest with you. That's how I've been feeling all day long, just a little drained. But I'm getting out here, getting what I have to get. Not sure if I'll go to Hollywood or stay local. But I think this will be a good exercise for me. I've been doing good with my Onyx Blue workout. I did them 2 days in a row, yesterday and the day before, even though I didn't really feel like doing it. I still was able to get it done. And so, you know, I'm forcing myself into good consistency this week with everything that I need to be doing. Didn't do any lazing around yesterday. After making the video for the NBA trades and stuff like that, I went straight to my exercise and got it done. So that was a big thing for me because I had been kind of slowly kind of not feeling as motivated to kind of do that specific workout. But 2 days straight, I plan on doing it today. So hello, I think it'll be good for me if I try to make it a third day in a row. We'll see, man. But I'm so exhausted spiritually and mentally right now, man. It's just a lot of stuff. It's just irritating. It really, and it just kind of wears you out. But just the same, you keep pushing, and you know, you give God the glory, and you ask for the extra strength and extra motivation, and you just keep pushing forward. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm actually in a pretty decent mood. Given all things considered, I've been kind of proud of myself for disciplining against certain things that I otherwise felt like doing over the last month or so. Things that, you know, food and stuff like that I had no business eating, disciplined against spending because of my circumstances being as they are. It was just probably best for me not to eat out, and I've done a great job with my stomach and all of that. It's probably best I don't eat out. And I've been able to just kind of deviate away from all of those choices that would otherwise be toxic for myself. And so for that, you know, pretty proud of what it is I'm doing. But at the same time, it has made for a pretty frustrating goal. You know, it has. But just the same, they just keep pushing forward, man. I definitely know that it gets a lot worse for other people in certain situations that I've obviously been paying attention to. So when I look around in my own set of obstacles, I feel very confident that I can leap over them because I'm watching other people go through some much more strenuous and difficult things. Much more uncomfortable than what it is that I experienced. And so there's not a whole lot of complaining, you know what I mean? It really ain't. There's a lot of prayer, a lot of stomping forward, a lot of resisting what comes naturally to me. And as I said, I think I've done a really good job this year of fending off all of the different bad habits that ultimately I wanted to establish, have been wanting to establish. Bad eating, lazy exercise patterns, you know, none of that has actually been going down. So that's what it is, man. Just trying to do my part in making sure that I take care of my health going forward. And I was thinking about last night, there are things that you were able to get away with in your 30s and your 20s that if you do in your 40s, you may not make it to see your 60s. And that's what I try to tell myself. Like every night when I feel like not exercising, or every night I feel like eating a poor meal or something like that, or not, you know, getting enough rest or whatever the case. Anytime I feel as if I want to start behaving as if I'm 31, I remind myself that behaving like you're 31 when you're 41 can make it so that you don't see 51. You know, and that's what motivates me to keep going in a lot of the things that I'm trying to accomplish. That's what motivates me to keep going, to stay away from certain things, to pray prayers so that I'm strong enough to stay away from certain things. Because there was stuff that I did in my 30s that I probably would still be prone to do. But it doesn't help me to do those things if I want to make it to 61. You know, do those things at 40. And so I steer clear. And I remind myself what my intentions are and what my goal is to be like, how I want to feel, how I want to look, how I want my health to kind of be responding, how I want to feel at 50. It all is determined by what sacrifices and what practices I engage in now. So, and that's really what it is, man. I feel very, very blessed under those circumstances. I feel strong under those circumstances. And I think God is working real hard to keep me on the right track. So I'm remaining steadfast that I can do that. As far as other things are concerned, man, paying attention to what's going on in the world, I almost didn't want to give any light to what Donald Trump posted with Obama's, the Obama's pictures of them. Some excerpt from an AI thing that someone did in the name of all these politicians. They were like taken from Lion King and putting the politician's head on all of these Lion King animals. And I guess Donald Trump is taking from the excerpt where this guy had placed Michelle and Barack on top of two apes. And, the racial undertones that come with that have got people up in arms. And of course, all of the publications that tend to tell us what to be excited about are all plastering all over the place. I don't know. Part of me just wants to say, I don't want to take the bait. That's really the only reason why I'm even bringing it up, is because I want to acknowledge that it's bait. That what we're seeing from the powers that be, Israel and the puppeteers, they're all trying to ease over the line of evil in a lot of different areas to see how we're going to react to it, trying to condition us and or test us to see how far we will go before we act completely nuts in the name of what it is they're trying to do. They try to ease over that line. If we can go this far, let's see if we can go a little farther, that type of thing. And they're doing it on multiple fronts. They're easing at us in a way to try to get some type of reaction, try to test to see how far we'll go before we start acting up and behaving unlawfully, and ultimately trying to provoke all of us into being in our what's the word? Identity politics. Have us all up in arms about where we stand amongst one another. I'm just not up for it, man. I'm not up for it. I just tell all these people, look, I watched you commit a genocide. I know what you're capable of doing. Anything evil that you do after that is just like what to be expected from you. Your character has been shown. You killed children while we're all watching. You're still doing it. They done ramped up. Every time America sends Israel money, kids in the Middle East die. Anytime you hear of America sending $11 billion been sent to Israel, you can best believe that it's going to be just a matter of time before you scroll on Instagram and see dead bodies of Palestinian children, because that's what comes of us giving them money. And so naturally we gave them, a couple $1 billion last week, and roughly I've seen at least 6 or 7 posts of dead Palestinian children over the last 2 days. They ramped up more of it, and I can't say that they ramped it. I don't know if it ever stopped, but I'm seeing more of a post. It's almost like we're back in the thick of 2 years ago when this thing was really visible to all of it. And I suppose some of it needs to be, you got to credit the people who are on the ground who haven't been deterred by seeing press members being murdered. And they continue to show us, new people are continuing to show us what's going on out there. Got to be appreciative of those individuals who are fearless in the face of genocide to document these experiences, document these occurrences for the rest of the world to see. I think it's very honorable. I don't think it's inappropriate. I'm not inconvenienced by this. I think that it's a badge of honor that they are in this presence of such danger, trying to help us understand what would be possible in our own lands eventually if we continue to allow these people to do whatever it is that they want to do. So that's really what's happening there, is we're seeing more of the same. Seen so many children dead over the last 2 years that I'm numb to it. But there had been a time where it wasn't as visible. But that has not been over the last 3 days. And so prayers out to everybody who's going through that out there. And anytime Israel gets some money from America, or anytime a Zionist feels like they're losing the battle of PR, they take it out on the Palestinian people. This is a mischievous child of a devil type spirit. That's what I want people to understand. It behaves like a mischievous child. When it doesn't get its way, it throws a fit. It wants to always see how far it can go, how far you will allow it to go before it becomes too much, whatever it's doing. It wants to see if you will allow it to do something mischievous without coming down on it too hard. And if it doesn't feel like the punishment's been too much, then it'll try even further to test you to see where your limits are. That's what this devil of an entity does. And it cries victim when it's held accountable, cries victim when it's retaliated against for the behavior that it causes. It's a childish spirit. That's what it is, a childish spirit, a Zionist entity. And so as I look at it perform all of its lies and violent acts, and trying to see if we'll be up in arms about our identity politics with all of it that it controls, I just say, yeah, man, childish. I'm not amused. I'm not amused. I'm not up in arms. I'm not impressed. You're not gaining any further trauma out of me. You may think you're conditioning me for what you're doing, but what you're actually doing is just giving me more and more evidence of what it is that you are. That's all you're doing, is laying it all out there for all of us to understand that what you think you're doing in regards to showing us all of this is not what actually you're doing. You're thinking you're making us comfortable with these behaviors. What you're doing is continuing to pile up evidence for what ultimately will be your persecution, prosecution, etc. The Zionist entity is just making it easier and easier to do everything necessary against it. Whatever it is that it don't like, it's bringing about all the evidence in the world to manifest it. And so as a person of color, and I know they control it, they put a battery in the back of this president to be as racist and as, you know, unapologetically mischievous as he possibly can be. I just genuinely look at it and say, I'm not impressed. I'm not overly angry. You didn't rile up such vitriol in me as a black person because you decided to make fun of black people on some random morning. It's what I expect from you. I'm not impressed that you went over there and bombed the hell out of those kids in Palestine. That's what I expect from you. I'm not impressed that you're moving as you are with ICE agents, trying to use them as a political tool to rig elections or control elections or whatever the word would be. I expect that from you. All of what it is that you're doing, you've given me every reason to expect. I'm not impressed. You are not doing anything special. You're not spectacular in any way. If anything, you're boring all of us. With your lack of creativity and your continuous nature, a repetitive, mischievous, attention-seeking behaviors. It is exactly like a child who's lacked discipline. That's what you are. It's a child who didn't get proper discipline. That's it. That's what I think of them, man. Donald Trump is a puppet doing their intended will. And what is their intended will? To continue to be mischievous, evil, and ironic in those ways. Let's be a little more racist today. Let's gaslight them a little harder today. They love the Palestinian people. Let's kill some more Palestinian people today. Like, it's just like a mischievous child that just continues to test your nerves. The one thing it hates the most is that you ignore it, though. The one thing that it hates the most is that you tell the truth about it, that you be unimpressed with it, that you do everything but work in its as it would want you to go in the direction that it's trying to funnel you. And I'm supposed to get on here and say, oh my God, these people are so racist. It's outrageous that they make fun of black people by using apes. They've been doing this a lot longer than I've been alive. They've been making fun of my people and calling us apes for as long as they've had an opportunity to control the narrative about any damn thing they've ever done. I'm not going to get up in arms about it today, any more so than I get up in arms watching old footage done by people who are no longer with us, behaving the same exact way. I'm not interested. I'm not amused. I'm not going to hate all white people because you decided to test me in that way. That's not the type of stupid this generation is. We are not amused. All your childish behaviors is not amusing to any of us. All your little lies that you know we can easily debunk. It's not confusing anymore. It's not creating some type of wear down, energy within us that just can't seem to make sense of it. I'm going crazy because it makes no sense. No, I'm not. I expect you to do that. I know you want to stir up confusion. They're testing us a million different ways. The same thing with this Epstein thing. They continue to release bits and pieces of what it is that's going on in the Epstein files, but there's been no arrest. That's provocation. They want us to be up in arms. Oh my God, why has there been no arrest? Oh my God, what are we gonna do? It's so useless. It's so what's the word? It's such a hopeless world we're in. Oh, the world is collapsing in on us. People are getting away with the worst of things. Like I'm supposed to be sitting up here looking at them as if they're gonna arrest themselves. Man, I'm not moved. None of this is interesting to me. You guys are boring. Are you done? That's literally what it is. Are y'all done yet? That's what I gotta say to the Zionist entity. Are you done yet? You still going, huh? You still showing your backside? We see it. It's round. Congrats. Did you wash it first? Probably not. Like, that's what I gotta say to the Zionists, man. Y'all at this point, your story, you're tired of ways of doing things and multiple different platforms that y'all use to display the same childish behavior. It's gotten old, man. It's gotten old. What you gonna do next? A terrorist attack on American soil and then claim it was somebody that you decided you don't like today? Go for it. Do what you gonna do. Trying to provoke somebody that you said is a bad guy. How you doing, man? Into trying to, do something stupid. Provocation is in the middle name. Of course you're gonna do that. Somebody you accuse of being a bad guy, you're gonna force all of us into hating them. Good luck. That only worked when we couldn't see you. We can see you. That only worked when you weren't constantly showing us your ways. We constantly seeing your ways. We expect for you to use these platforms to try to manipulate people into believing other people are horrible people instead of you. We're looking for these behaviors. We're looking for the next 9/11. We expect it. And we're going to blame you as soon as it happens. It's not going to be you trying to provoke us into thinking it was Iran. Iran ain't paying no attention to us. You poking at Iran. And people mind their own damn business. You poking at Greenland. Nobody in Greenland wants to do anything. Nobody's harming you. Nothing. Nobody's doing anything. Talking about anti-septicism. And nobody's doing anything to you. Nobody even thinking about you unless you create some reason for people to look at you that way. You show your backside. We're offended. We get offended and you cry victim. It's tired, man. We've seen it a million times now. We got it. You only feel like you're getting the attention you want if it's hatred pointed at you. We get it. The most important aspect of your personality is victim. We get it, fam. I promise we get it. Woe is you. How sad how everybody hates you. How sad everybody's so unhappy with you as you continue to make them unhappy. Why can't they just be at peace with these provocations? Why can't they just accept that you are the better people of us all and that your lies should be believed even when you don't even make them believable? How dare all of us just think? How dare all of us have a heart for innocent children in Palestine? How dare we find some voice to speak out against the things that you do to make us all uncomfortable? Dare we not be pleased with all the things you do to make us unhappy? How dare we? Like at this point, I just wonder, Are y'all done, man? It's really my point of view at this point. Are y'all done? Because at the end of the day, God has already given us all the confidence we need to survive what it is you're putting us through. You can't break the Palestinian kids. They playing in the rubble. Y'all destroying their homes. They will sleep underneath broken rubble in the home. Where mommy and daddy died, they're still playing. They're creating swings out of the rubble. The dog's still barking around the children. Children still dancing, smiling. You destroyed the whole place. The kids are standing and laughing in the spaces that you meant for their destruction. In the spaces that you meant for the brokenness of their spirit, they still stand. You couldn't break their spirits even when you destroyed their land. And no matter how much money you spend trying to normalize that behavior, there's still people like me who see the truth, who see exactly what's going on there. I see the Palestinian children, the bones, the Palestinian people that you left in the street. I know of the behaviors that you engage in to get off on their pain. I know of the way you allow these settlers to continue to bully these people and then have soldiers behind the settlers as they do so, protecting them from any retaliation from this unnatural behavior. I watch it. I've seen all of it. No matter how much money you spent on keeping me from knowing the truth, I'm still able to not only see the truth, but articulate it clearly. You have failed. I took more from them Palestinian children that are dancing on the rubble that you created for them to die in than I did from anything that you poured all your money into that was supposed to align me with the compliance of such unnatural behaviors. I take more from the kids that you're trying to kill than I do from all of your influences combined. You are wasting your time. Every one of these parrots that you have in place, these puppets that you are using, we're looking at where the money is going, we're pointing them out. Anytime they back you up, they look stupid. And then furthermore, they get shunned by the voting public. Your psyops don't work. Your ways are old, your plays are old. We've seen it over and over again. Nobody's moved, man. At some point in time, y'all just gotta understand your time is up. The mystique behind you guys is over. The outrage is supposed to come from your provocations. Don't hit the same. We're not interested. We're cool, friends. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. Because the Palestinian children have shown us how to be fine in the presence of whatever the hell y'all gonna do. Whatever. However you go about it. You're torturing people, putting people in jail for being honest, all of that stuff. It's expected at this point. We know that's what you're going to do. Those of us who've been paying attention to what's going on for the last 3 years, we know what you're prone to do. Not moved. It's all laughable at this point. So whatever y'all going to do next, just know that we're expecting it. Whatever it is y'all think y'all going to do to break people, you're not going to do it. Whatever you think you're going to provoke out of all of us, you're not going to get most of us to do any of that. We're numb to a lot of it, but still got enough feel to feel for the people that you're harming. And that's the most important thing. We got enough compassion to still care about the people you're harming. You may normalize certain images, but you won't normalize the lack of compassion or outrage in regards to it. How we react to it may not look like what you expect anymore. But do not lose sight of what compassion is actually for. That's what I want to tell all of y'all who think y'all snuffing us out. You're not. You're just making it more easy to go against you going forward. Making it more easy to discipline ourselves against behaving the way you need us to so that your plans can work out as it pertains to us. You're making it more easy and for us to find the bold nature of speaking out against you, or whatever behaviors will come from what it is that you're doing. You're making it easy for us to do it. You don't understand humans, just like you don't necessarily understand yourselves. And you're trying to control all of us. You're trying to do psychological operations, but you're looking to learn, meaning you don't fully understand. You can't create. You don't get compassion. You think behavior is a telltale sign of feelings and motivations. False. You think because you can rock us into not being mentally or physically or being nauseous from the images that you are ultimately creating for us to see. That's not what that does. We're still going to be unhappy with what you're doing, even though it doesn't turn our stomach anymore. I don't need to feel somebody's pain to care that they're in pain. That's what you don't understand about us humans. Compassion holds a great deal of weight, and it is not fully understood by you at all. Zionist entity of devil. What it is that y'all doing, y'all sacrifices are empty. You don't move God at all by any of these things that you're doing, any of it. Throwing rocks at his throne does nothing to the throne itself. It is indestructible to your swings. You have no power over the entity that is the creator of all mankind. Nor do you have any defenses against what it is he uses to defend his people against your attacks. You are as vulnerable as you leave them children, but definitely less strong to what it is that he does to you. And that's what I want to say to the Zionist entity. My God is giving me all the confidence in the world that I have every bit of the strength to watch his intentions unfold however long it takes. However long it takes. It becomes a situation where you got to understand the God I serve is not at all interested in those who want to fight him, those who want to be against him, those who want to provoke the people who are with him into being against him. That is not at all moving God. What does move God is those who will stand against those who do. Those of us who will, in all of our frustration with what we see, wake up in the morning and still praise God for what it is that we have, which is an opportunity to experience what's anew. Because he's always creating something new, unlike the enemy. He's always got some new opportunity, some new scenario, some new lesson to learn, some new strength to find within what it is that he instills strength in. He always has another opportunity for you to be your best, for you to be blessed differently. My relationship with God is growing stronger every day, despite everything y'all doing to trying to make me believe that he doesn't exist. Every little thing that y'all try to press against our faith just makes us grow stronger and closer to God and desire more of a curiosity for what makes him happy within all of our lives. Makes us pray for one another a little harder. Makes us speak a little louder, truth, seeking the truth a little more, valuing accountability a lot more. With every action you feel you get away with, I turn to God and say that I value accountability. With every mischievous behavior you engage in, I ask the Lord to make me less and less interested in making him unhappy. With every bit of the harm that you do to people comes a prayer that the Lord continue to work on me to get the evil out of my own heart, the hatred out of my own heart. Get the selfishness out of my own heart and the practices of such out of my life. To win battles against every bit of what it is I need to win in order to be a good human being. For every bit of the behavior that y'all engage in unapologetically, the more sorry I feel for my sins. You are failing. That's what I want to tell the enemy. You are failing. For every bit of the freedom that you're looking for from the clutches of the Holy Spirit comes a certain intention to submit to God that comes from within myself. You are failing in every way. And I'm one man representing many souls in that regard. You're making us better because we see what it looks like when we go against God. We don't want to embarrass ourselves like you embarrass yourself as often as you do. With everything you control, showing your backside as if it's going to change anything in regards to what the Lord is doing with the people that He has control over. It changes nothing. You're not pulling me away from God, you're bringing me closer to Him. With every single action that you engage in the name of religion, you make me more curious about how to get closer to God, how to get to know Him better. Not sending me away from Him like you intend to. You're making me want to know Him more. Because you're standing there doing all of these things, and I got to be able to step over you. You're in the way, and He's going to give me the strength to leap over you. That's what I want to tell the devil. And all of who he serves, or all of who serves him, although I can't tell if there's a difference. I don't think there is. At the end of the day, I just want the devil to know he's losing, man. That the people that he's using to stir up confusion only makes us want to be more accountable within ourselves. Only makes us want to step away from the things that we often enjoyed in life that meant us no good, that ultimately was coercing our spirit to hell. We have no desire to play His game. There's a greater game to play, and it's in God's name. It's in Jesus' name for those of us who believe in Him. We want to bridge the gap between ourselves and other people who believe in the same things but differently. We want to understand them better. We want to learn their scriptures. We want to be hand in hand with them against all of what it is you're doing, enemy. And every time you tell me that there's something wrong with the Muslim people, that they are not to be trusted, it just motivates me further to read the Quran. Anytime you try to use a Christian person, try to drive us toward the murderous terrorist entity known as Israel, it just makes me further want to dump into my Bible and praise Jesus' name. You're failing. For every bit of what you're doing, using the Democrats and Republicans to align with your intentions in this country to send money to Israel and continue to engage in decrepit, racist, and separatist, selective humanity agendas, the more I want to get to know people that don't look like me and learn them and appreciate them and not be as offended by things that they may do in good spirit, but maybe in poor taste. I want to forgive my friends who I once considered my enemies. I want to understand them better, help them understand me better. I want to teach. I want to learn. I want to protect. I want to invest. I want to do all of the different things that ultimately you want to keep me from doing. The things you want to motivate me away from. I'm going to forgive somebody for every time you show an instance that you don't want to forgive. I want to discipline myself against revenge tactics every time you show me that 12 of theirs is worth one of yours. Anytime you engage in that behavior, it makes me further and further want to forgive somebody who did something that I didn't appreciate, because I know that's exactly what you don't want from me. Every bit of what it is that you want me to do, I want to do the opposite. Just like you treat the Lord I serve. For every blessing He gives us, the more intentions you have to treat your God like He doesn't do anything good at all. That is exactly what you inspire within me on the opposite end. The more you try to silence good people, the more I want to speak the truth. And just know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying every day that the Lord gets closer and establishes a stronger relationship with the people in Israel. I'm praying for that. Because I know the devil don't want me to do that. He wants me to be vitriol, throwing curses at these people in the name of these behaviors. And I refuse. I've been praying for the Zionist Jews. I've been praying for the Ashkenazi Jews. I've been praying for you. Every bit of what your provocation is about to be is going to inspire more of that devotion to the Lord within me. And I want you to know that. And I'm going to inspire that in others too. I'm going to spread the word about what that is in regards to everything that I'm doing going forward. I want people to understand that this is how you defeat the devil. You kill him with kindness. You ignore his provocations. You tell him you're not moved. You tell him everything he's meant for your harm, God is going to turn into your betterment. For every bit of what he's trying to do to provoke you to stay away from God, you're going to spend a little more time being intentional on getting closer to God. This is how you defeat him. Every time he tries to provoke you into being upset at people that don't look like you for reasons that don't have nothing to do with the individual next to you, the more you're going to send out good energy and pray for the people next to you. You want to have me angry at white people? I'm going to be praying for the next white person I see. You want me all up in arms about my identity politics and up in arms about my skin? I'm going to help somebody who doesn't look like me. I'm going to be trying to help somebody else stand up for what matters to them, though it doesn't affect me. Everything you're trying to do is going to bring about the opposite intention. It's what I want the devil to know. And support ignorant people who may have some bad thoughts about me. I'm going to show them that they're wrong. I'm going to make them think and consider that what they did or what they feel is wrong. I'm going to show them opposite evidence of what it is that you continue to embed in their heads with your propaganda. I'm going to make damn sure they have something to weigh against that for which it is. That is your agenda. They're going to know that somebody doesn't hate them for the mistakes that they made and that they can change their ways. And I'm going to give them that example. Just like the Palestinian children that continue to fight through all of the things that you put them through are giving me an example that I can do this here. Can't wear me down. I don't have any fear because I'm watching them engage in positive energy in the presence of what is otherwise meant to kill them. No matter what it is you try to deteriorate, they're still restoring that feeling. And the propaganda that you put upon my heart to make me not care about them, or the structure of compliance to these behaviors based on the importance of people who control those structures, do not motivate me to comply with said structures, nor those people. For in the eyes of God, we are all equal, and I see through his lens, his spiritual lens, in regards to every man, woman, and child, whether you got $1 million, $1 billion, $100 billion, or 5. You're a human being, and your life matters. And it is a deficiency in perspective to see it otherwise. And that's what I want to say to any 1%er or homeless person or whatever your status is in this world. It is a deficiency to look at people as if they have more in heart because they may have more in their account. Anything in that account can be wiped out or filled up. Your compassion matters, your dignity matters, your ability to see through the propaganda placed upon your heads from birth matters. Your intellect, your independent thought, your unselfishness, your quest for accountability in leadership, your integrity, your ethics, your morals, the fluidity of your compassion and your humanity is valued above what it is that capitalism has set in place for me, above what it is that Zionism has set in place for me, above what it is that poor culture has set in place for me. And I can unlearn what they've put in place to erase my dignity. We're strong enough to wipe from our minds what it is that's put there for the deterioration of our humanity. We're strong enough to be unselfish. We're strong enough to care in the presence of our own discomfort, in the presence of our own misfortune. We have the ability to stand firm in the presence of pressure, political or otherwise. We have all the tools we need to step away from something that ultimately deteriorates that. One of the most important things for a Western person to understand is that you are strong enough to unlearn things. You are strong enough to receive, or dare I say, welcome accountability. You are strong enough to deteriorate the leverage over your head that would otherwise keep you compromised. You are strong enough to step away from those practices that leave you compromised. You're strong enough to sacrifice those things that you otherwise consider leisure but ultimately pull you away from your best. You're strong enough to do away with those poisons that taste so good in whatever form or fashion they may come. You're strong enough to look at somebody that you don't relate to and see their humanity within them. You're strong enough to do all of these things. Do not let any entity of any kind tell you that your weaker self is what's most appropriate. All it wants to do is have you aligned with what makes you unhappy with yourself and ultimately what makes you a problem for others. You don't want that on your legacy. You don't want that on your present. You got to live amongst people in unprecedented potential possibilities. You don't know what COVID could come next. You don't know what 9/11 could come next. You don't know which one of these nations are going to drop an atomic bomb on the head of another nation, changing our weather dynamic permanently. You don't know what could come. You don't know if the environment you're in is going to stay as stable as you've known it to be. You absolutely cannot afford to do away with your dignity, because you have no idea what's coming your way next. You cannot possibly think that you're going to handle those things very well in a compromised state of existence. It is very difficult to survive the unprecedented times of what could potentially be ahead if you don't keep your head and your heart and your life clean. And it's not going to be about, oh, well, I was taught how to be this way. That's going to be an excuse for living that way later on. It's just going to be about whether or not you were able to clean yourself up, dust yourself up, and unlearn all of the things that were put in place for your deterioration. Because it's going to be a different that day than it is today as it pertains to what's necessary to survive. And you're going to need your mind and your heart clean. You're going to need your reputation intact. You're going to need to be able to look in the mirror and see an integrity there in every reflection that you walk past, in order to be focused enough and sharp enough to live in tomorrow's world, where they could potentially do whatever they're going to do for which they're prone to do. And we know that at this point. It requires us to be disciplined in ways that we were never taught to. Discipline. And I think a lot of people don't know to want that. Too busy feeding their demons, too busy feeding their egos, too busy feeding the evil that's inside of them. It does not work tomorrow. That doesn't work. There's a lot of people trying to manifest what they want. I want that. You're going to have to discipline against certain wants tomorrow. You cannot find yourself prone to doing things that deteriorate your body or deteriorate your mind tomorrow. Today you might be able to get away with that. Tomorrow will not work. And so it would be wise for you to discipline yourself against those things today, so that it won't be as much of a difficulty disciplining yourselves when it's necessary that you do. And it starts with what's inside of you. If you give yourself reason to hate yourself, it's going to be much harder to do this, man. Much harder to do this. Continue being indifferent to your brother and to your sister, or the people that you don't consider brothers or sisters. Yeah, you're going to look yourself in the mirror and you're going to hate yourself for that tomorrow. Continue to listen to people that tell you to be up in arms about yourself. When you realize who your real friends are, when you realize that you had allies in those places that you didn't have no interest in being around, because you hated them people because they looked that way, you hated them people because they prayed that way, you're going to find out those were your friends. And the people next to you were not. You should have been compassionate to those people, because in the new world, where this is headed, that's going to be the only people around you. And you're going to have to find a way to live through whatever y'all differences is, your cultural differences, You're going to have to live through all of that. You're going to have to be able to coincide with those people. You ain't going to be able to separate. There ain't going to be a situation where I can live over here and never deal with those people and think of the worst of those people and think of their stereotypes as the only reality. You're going to have to live amongst those people. And in the presence of that, all that's going to work is your integrity. All that's going to work is your discipline against that for which is in your heart that was never any good. That for which was in your mind that was put there for the reason for separating people from one another. That ain't going to work. Those who will comply to that nonsense are likely not going to be there. It's only going to be people that you don't agree with that ultimately are forced to live in the same space as you are with the same conundrum. How can we get along? How can we get along? How can we survive these unprecedented circumstances? How can we eat and feed one another and want to? This sounds like rubbish, but I promise you, these people got atomic bombs, big ones, warfare of many kinds that they have no problem using. And in the event that takes place, this is the reality. These are the circumstances that ultimately people are going to be faced with. Those of us, the rest of us who are left to live. And they wipe out a good portion of the population. It's only going to be a bunch of people who are going to struggle to live with one another, trying to overcome the old world and the old ways of doing things, man. Humanity will survive these evil times and these evil people. That's what I want you guys to believe in your heart. As the Lord put this in my heart to tell all of you. Humanity is going to survive them. All of their intentions, all of their bombs, every way they try to starve people, every bit of their propaganda, every bit of their spiritual warfare and all these different things they're trying to do. Humanity will survive them. The struggle after that is what it is I just described for the last hour. The struggle after that is how do we survive one another after we do? How do we keep from killing one another off after all of that takes place? How do we govern ourselves in the presence of so many different people who are different? So many different cultures that are different. So many people who were traumatized by what just took place. How do you survive? And that's the question. And the answer is with your integrity, with your compassion, with your respect for self and others, with your discipline, with your ability to unlearn nonsense. That's how you survive that. Because if you do things the way that would have worked on the day that I'm saying this, you ain't gonna survive this. Your relationship with God will help you survive this. Knowing what buttons to press to win battles against the enemy, doing the opposite of what it is that plays into his hand will help you survive this. I'm telling you, something big could potentially be coming in the times that I'm in. With the Zionists in control of a lot of what's going on, they've already shown us they don't have any problem killing millions of people. They've already shown that. They gave us a taste tester of how evil they are and how wicked they are. I have no doubt they have big evil plans for the world. No doubt. To make that genocide look a lot smaller than it actually was. Unprecedented killing these people intend to do. Unprecedented torture they look to put out into the world. They've proven that. We see it. It becomes a situation where we just got to learn from what it is that we've just witnessed. You think what they're doing in Minnesota, it's just the most unprecedented, unparalleled thing that we've seen in modern times. It's only because you weren't looking over there at Gaza. It's the only reason why you even think that. These are the same behaviors. You think what they're doing in Gaza is so unprecedented, so unparalleled. It's only because you didn't pay attention to what they did to the slaves and the Native Americans in this country. It's only because you weren't paying no attention to black people when they were going through the worst of what they were going through in regards to white supremacy in this country. That's the only reason why you think what's going on in Gaza is the most terrible thing, is because you didn't pay attention to the history of what took place in this place. If you pay attention to everything that there is to see, you will never be confused by what it is they do next. Never. Because none of these plays are new. I cannot stress this enough. That's why I speak so matter-of-factly in regards to what's to come, because they've already shown me what they do. They're showing me what they're capable of. And I know they inspire to be bigger, badder. It's the nature of the devil himself. He's always aspiring to be worse than he was before. He's always aspiring to be more devastating in his next intention than he was in the last. This is why I can tell you all of these things mirror something that happened in the past, because they're always trying to do more of the same. This is spiritual warfare. And so what I'm telling everybody now is to just understand what is required for you to survive what it is they're going to do next. The devastation that ultimately they have planned for all of us. Let God in, man. Let him guide your next step. Let him guide how you react to circumstances that are unprecedented to your eyesight. Start paying attention to what's going on in these other situations so you're not blindsided by what they're about to do next. Go back and do the history on the slavery before they erase all of it. Go back and learn what they did in past situations that maybe I don't even know about, because I can guarantee you they did something else that probably mirrors what it is they're doing right now. They want you to get rid of history so that the imprint of what it is their patterns are won't be embedded in your skull. That's the point. They want to destroy all the history so you won't know all of the evil that they've done before. And always remember this. This entity, it always wants to harm the most innocent of us all. It always wants to bully something that it believes itself to be stronger than. Always. It's always looking to harm the younger ones. It's always looking to turn as many of them as they can into what they are. And then furthermore, torture as many of them as ultimately they can stomach the torture just the same. They want to give birth to more of the same. They too will harm children in a lot of cases, converted into being what it is that they ultimately are. That has to be nipped in the bud somewhere. You got to be patient with children, because a lot of children have been raised by these people, man. A lot of children have been taught the wrong things. You got to be patient with kids. Unprecedented patience is necessary to change minds who've been depraved of what compassion ultimately means, man. Who've been raised to be what we think and believe to be wicked and evil. You have to be patient with these children. Because if you're patient with a child, you can teach them the right way to go. If you're patient with a child, you can mold them into being people who are passionate about teaching others to be patient with children when they grow up to be grown people themselves. There are always going to be people who are lost. There are always going to be people who are rotten. There's always going to be a few bad apples, or whatever the word would be. But do not look at a fleet of children as if you know what they're going to be. Don't make the mistake that these Zionists are making. They're going to be terrorists tomorrow. No, they're not. No, they're not. We're going to be patient with them today. That's what we need to be saying. If we have compassion in our hearts, and if we're not of the devil himself, we're going to be passionate about being patient, about being considerate, about being strong disciplinarians, and then furthermore forgivers. Because that's the formula to deal with children. Not the stuff that these people are engaging in, certainly not warfare. It's strong, confident disciplinarians followed by compassionate and understanding listeners. That is how you handle children. For those who want to know what the Lord really wants of us, He wants us to look ourselves in the mirror and say we were once children. We were once young people. And if you held me accountable for everything I did when I was 21, between 21 and 25, between 14 and 25 or whatever it would be, then you would see me too as somebody who wasn't that great of a human being. I have grown and still growing. And it requires compassion to reach me back then, just like it required compassion to reach you when you were a child. Slaughtering children does not protect you from terrorist attacks. It just inspires more of them to grow up to commit those terrorist attacks. Do not let any entity of the devil tell you otherwise. They're harming children not to protect themselves from terror attacks. They're harming children because they want to sacrifice children to the devil they serve. It's not because they think the children are going to grow up to be anything. It's because they want to assure they do not grow up to be anything. They're at war with what it is that they ultimately see is weaker than them, for which they deep down understand is much stronger than them. That is what's going on there. They're not erasing armies of terrorists. They're erasing heroes, compassionate beings, individuals that could potentially change the world for the better, individuals that could potentially create solutions for the problems they're creating right now, create vaccines for the diseases that they're concocting right now. That's what they're erasing. They're not erasing terrorists. They are erasing solution finders. Individuals who will do better than them if given an opportunity to grow up to be. That's what they're erasing. Don't allow them to lie to you. I spoke freely on this channel because I want people to understand that I'm fearless in the presence of them wanting me to be quiet, wanting people like myself to be quiet for the sake of what it is that they have planned, for which is against the God I serve. A lot of which they probably will succeed in doing, which is why I spoke to you the way that I did today. But most of which will not do what it is they intend for it to do, which is erase all of us. Leave only those who can be easily manipulated by their intentions. No, that is not what you're going to accomplish. My God is an awesome God, compassionate God, forgiving God, strong disciplinarian, a provider of truth and love, support, a creator, infinite in his understanding. That is what he is. You're not moving him with your intentions. You're not moving him with your treatment of kids. I want you to know that. He's not surprised by what you've done or what you're doing or what you intend to do. You will not be caught off guard by any of your behaviors. Your patterns are mastered. And that's what I want the enemy to understand. Bdf 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.